The sun blazed over a quiet suburban street, birds chirping, until a clatter of metal and a smug laugh shattered the peace. Jake's pristine backyard, his green sanctuary, morphed overnight into a wedding war zone. White chairs, floral arches, and a tyrant HOA Karen barking orders like she owned it all. She thought she'd won, trespassing with a smirk, until Jake flipped the switch, and 10 seconds later, her dream day drowned in a flood of filthy chaos. Karma hit fast, and jaws hit the floor. Hey squad, welcome back to the channel. We're here for stories of grit, guts, and epic comebacks. Smash the subscribe button, hit like, and drop your city in the comment. Saturday morning hummed soft in Willow Creek, a tidy Georgia suburb where lawns gleamed and fences stood proud. Jake Miller, 34, rolled out of bed. Tall, wiry, a mechanic with calloused hands and a love for his quiet life. His backyard was his pride, lush grass, a koi pond, flower beds he'd nursed for years. But at 7 a.m., a clang of metal jolted him awake, louder than any garbage truck. He stumbled to the window, rubbed bleary eyes, and peeked through the blinds. His heart slammed to a stop. Rows of white folding chairs stretched across his lawn. A floral arch swayed near his fence. Caterers hauled trays, a DJ tested speakers, and a porta-potty rolled into his driveway. In the chaos stood Karen Vickers, 50, peroxide blonde, dripping in entitlement, the HOA's self-crowned queen. She waved her arms, clipboard in hand, directing vendors like a dictator at a parade. Jake's jaw tightened. This wasn't a dream. This was war. Jake threw on a hoodie, stormed out his back door, and marched through the sea of trespassers. "Karen!" His voice sliced the air, sharp as a blade. She spun, smug smile gleaming. "Oh, Jake, you're up! Thought you'd sleep through the magic!" He blinked, fury rising. "Magic? This is my yard. What the hell's a wedding doing here?" Karen laughed, dismissive as a flick of her manicured hand. "My daughter's big day, Jake. Notices went out weeks ago. Community event. You're honored." His eye twitched. "Honored? I never agreed to this," she sighed, fake pity dripping. "Check your HOA rules, sweetie. We deemed your yard suitable. Don't be dramatic." Jake's blood boiled. A DJ cranked tunes by his porch. Bridesmaids giggled near his pond. His driveway? A catering van squatted there. "Get this crap out, now!" Karen's smile hardened, venom seeping in. "Ruin Stephanie's day, Jake, and you'll face fines. Unsightly lawn, parking violations. Your call." Jake's fists clenched. Karen's HOA reign was legend. Petty fines, rigged votes. But this? Insanity on steroids. "You're trespassing," he growled. She smirked. "HOA says otherwise. 6 hours till I do. Deal with it." He scanned the yard. Tables draped in white. Flowers everywhere. Guests trickling in. His sanctuary was a bridal magazine spread, and he wasn't invited. Rage simmered. But she had him pinned. Bogus rules, fake notices, her minions on the board. He needed a plan. Fast. He stormed inside, slammed the door, and paced the kitchen. Coffee mug in hand, brain blazing. Call the cops? She'd twisted enough red tape to stall them. Fight the HOA? Too slow. Then his eyes locked on the garage window. Old sprinkler controls glinted. Rusty pipes, stagnant water, murky, reeking, a relic from before he moved in. A wicked grin crept up. Karen wanted a wedding? She'd get a swamp. Game on. Jake grabbed his toolbox, adrenaline pumping. Years of Karen's nonsense, fines for his truck, snide letters about his fence, fueled him. This was personal. He checked the pipes, primed, nasty, ready to unleash hell. But timing was key. Too early, she'd pivot. Too late, he'd miss the chaos. He peeked out. Bridesmaids posed by the arch, oblivious. Karen strutted, clipboard waving, a queen in her stolen kingdom. His phone buzzed. Tom, the only sane HOA soul. "Jake, man, this is wild," Tom said. "Karen blew the event fund on herself. No venue, so she picked you." Jake's grip tightened. "She what?" "Yeah, fraud city. Board's clueless. Or scared." Jake smirked. "Perfect. She's done." He hung up, eyes on the switch. 2 hours till showtime. He'd wait. Let her build her castle, then watch it sink. A knock rattled his door. Jake opened it. David, the groom, stood there, tux rumpled, face sheepish. "You, Jake?" "I'm sorry, man," Karen lied. "Said we had a venue? I didn't know this was your yard till today." Jake crossed his arms. "Your future mother-in-law's a psycho." David winced. Tell me about it. Stephanie wanted small. Karen made it this. I'm trapped. Jake studied him. Genuine, caught in the crossfire. You're marrying into crazy. David sighed. Second thoughts, trust me. Just don't wreck Stephanie too bad, okay? Jake shrugged. No promises. David trudged off. Jake checked the clock. 90 minutes left. Karen's empire glittered outside. Tables set, guests arriving, music swelling. He'd strike at the peak, right when she thought she'd won. The yard buzzed. Guests in suits and dresses, kids stomping his flowers, Karen's cronies fanning themselves, whining about humidity. She greeted folks near the arch, beaming like a dictator at a coronation. Jake watched from his window, hand hovering over the switch. The DJ spun a slow jam. Bridesmaids lined up, heels sinking into his grass. Stephanie's entrance loomed. His pulse thumped. Now or never. Karen's smugness burned into him. She hadn't glanced his way, thought he'd caved. Big mistake. The music swelled. Guests stood, craning necks. Stephanie stepped out, white gown glowing, veil trailing. Perfect. Jake flicked the switch. A gurgle rumbled underground. Then hiss. Sprinklers erupted, spewing dark, rusty sludge in wild arcs. Guests shrieked as murky water-soaked suits and dresses, stinking of iron and rot. The front row bolted, chairs toppling into mud. Tablecloths turned brown. The cake slumped into a soggy heap. The DJ's speakers sparked and died. Silence, then chaos. Bridesmaids screamed, clutching ruined silk. Stephanie froze, gown splattered, a puddle of filth swallowing her train. My dress, she wailed. Karen spun, slipping on wet grass, horror twisting her face. She locked eyes with Jake on his porch, arms crossed, smirking. You! She screeched, storming over, heels sinking. Plumbing issue, he said, voice ice. Should have booked a real venue. Stephanie turned, mascara streaking. Mom? What's he mean? Karen stammered. He's lying. Jake laughed. Tell him, Karen. Tell your girl you stole HOA cash, lost the venue, and hijacked my yard. Gasps ripped through the crowd. Phones flashed. Viral gold. Stephanie's voice cracked. You lied? This isn't a venue? David stepped up, shaking his head. This is nuts, Steph. I'm out. He walked off, leaving her sobbing in sludge. Karen flailed. Everyone, calm down. We'll fix this. But guests fled, muttering, some laughing, some furious. Tom emerged, arms crossed. Karen, audit's coming. HOA funds, gone. You're toast. Her face drained, caught, cornered, crumbling. Cops rolled up. Vendors had called about unpaid bills. Ma'am, we've got questions. Trespass, fraud, an officer said. Karen sputtered. This is a mistake. No one cared. The yard was a swamp. Flowers drowned, chairs sank, cake melted. Stephanie glared at her mom. You ruined everything, and stormed off. Guests scattered, HOA cronies whispering. Karen's reign was ash. Jake leaned on his railing, savoring it. She'd bullied him for years. Fines, threats, sneers. Now, her empire drowned in his dirty water. She shot him a final glare. You'll pay, he grinned. Nah, Karen, you already did. Sunday dawned quiet. Jake surveyed the wreckage, mud patches, wilted flowers, a leaning arch like a war relic. His grass was toast, but peace reigned. Tom texted, HOA meeting tonight. Disband vote. Bring popcorn. Jake chuckled. Karen's house sat dark. Rumors said she'd bolt before the audit hit. Fraud charges loomed. Her minions turned. The HOA teetered. Years of her rules, undone by one flooded wedding. David swung by, hands in pockets. You saved me, man. Steph's a mess, but I'm free. Jake smirked. Just wanted my yard back. David laughed. You got more? You sank Karen. Monday, the HOA dissolved. Homeowners cheered, free from Karen's grip. Her car vanished that night, fled, tail between legs. Jake's yard healed slow, but the neighborhood? Lighter. No fines, no threats, just quiet. He sat on his porch, coffee in hand, grinning at the silence. One switch, one flood, and he'd flipped the script on entitlement itself. Tom stopped by, nodding. Legend, man. You owned her. Jake laughed. She owned herself. My water just helped. Weeks later, the Marsh flooded wedding trended. Clips of Karen's meltdown racked up millions. Jake's story spread. Neighbors toasted him. Strangers mailed thanks. His yard bloomed again. Koi swam free. Stephanie moved out. Karen faced court. Justice rolled slow but sure. Jake leaned back one evening, stars above, savoring the win. Entitlement lost. Grit won. Simple as that. Where you at right now? Drop your spot in the comments. If this hooks you, smash subscribe. We're just getting started.